All right, we got a new person, somebody we have not met yet. Library Bunny.
Yeah. Hi,
Hi.
Library Bunny.
Hello, Library Bunny.
Hi, Library Bunny. You would like my new room. It's going to be a library
Meet
with a bed in it.
you. I'm a book nerd, so I don't have a library, but I wish I did. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. I actually have a library because I work at a library.
Ooh,
Nice.
cool.
There you go.
So,
Cool.
yeah,
All
I
right,
might
so
be on mute a lot because I actually still have COVID.
Ooh.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm still coughing up a lung.
Well, as long as you can stuff it back down, it'll be okay.
We'll see if I can even do that at this point.
Well, at least you're reading. I still have my last Stephen King book unfinished, I think. Somehow I lost the ability to read. Long.
Dyslexia does not go well with epilepsy, but stories are too good to pass up.
right.
Audible too, right?
Video
Listen to
game
those audio ones.
story.
Video games, yeah, there you go.
While I was trying to tell myself to read like important things, and then I was just like, you know what? I only have so much time. I'm just going through so much right now. I'm just gonna read the fun things.
You know
So
what, Reese? You should just read the fun things, sweetheart.
so
That's
right
what I'm gonna
now
say.
I'm reading The Frame Up, which is a silly romance.
Never heard of this.
I don't know how else to describe it. It's like a romance, not thriller, but just a silly, they're,
Heartwarming,
yeah,
cozy.
they're doing a heist, at an art, uh, museum. And so it's a romance heist silliness.
I'm reading one that's a fantasy romance heist called The Stars Too Fondly. It's
Okay,
about a
wait
group
a
of
second.
college students. So wait a second, she's writing this down.
Dang on right. The stars too fondly. And then I'll go back and ask Reese again.
I mean, the fantasy
Yeah.
is my usual genre. I went a little outside it for this one. I was like, oh, I'll try something new.
Okay, what was yours again, Reese?
The Frame Up.
The frame up. Okay, got it. Okay, now go ahead and finish your description there, Toaster, dear.
It's about a bunch of um a bunch of 30-year-olds who accidentally steal a dark matter spaceship.
Oh, yes.
And
Sounds like fun.
one of the characters falls in love with the holographic captain.
Nice. All right.
Spaceship. That's my everything.
It's quite good. I checked it out from the library like 4 times before my mom was like, Jenny, Toast, buy it.
All right, you guys, I
Hi, my
got
name's
something
Jenny.
here. I got some here. It says seizures where you lose awareness, but you're still talking. Has anybody had a partial focal seizures where you lose awareness and memory, but can still talk? My mom captured a video of this episode, as my neurologist said to. I look very confused, and she's asking me to name, and I can't. I just respond, I don't know. I'm not sure. I have frontal lobe epilepsy that is drug resistant, but it's bizarre watching it and I just have no recollection as previously. I couldn't talk during these types of episodes. My seizures have changed as I most recently had a stereo EEG, and they did some habilitation, some ablation. Luckily, I haven't had any tonic-clonic seizures. Yeah, has anybody had partial awares where they can still talk?
Well, first of all, Pookie, I'm sorry that we're constantly just getting off and talking about random things when you're trying to get us to talk about epilepsy.
All right. If you got something epilepsy, we can talk about it.
But my wife, I had a weird episode earlier this week, and so I got talking with my wife about the kinds of seizures that I have had, and she says that I have one of my usual kinds that I have is when I just stare off into space. And she says that when I have those, sometimes she'll try to get my attention, and occasionally I'll just start saying words over and over.
Those were aware. Like if you're actually functioning, but you don't say remember after it happens. I wonder
Oh,
if that
crap,
falls.
my mom's calling. Hopefully I'll be back.
Yeah,
So
so
it's
I won't
basically
remember that it happened. I'll just be sitting with her and I'll start staring off into space, and apparently I'll just start saying the same word over and over, and then when it's over I'll come to and I won't remember that it happened.
I have something that happens, and I'm not sure exactly if it's a seizure because I usually have clonic tonics. And what happens is I'll forget to take my medicine, or I just had a surgery and I've been throwing up a lot. So I never know if I've taken my medicine, if it's had
How
enough.
much came up and how much didn't, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
I've yeah.
Yeah. But
Go
I
ahead.
was at work, I threw up, and all of a sudden it felt like my brain went to the left. That's the only way to describe it. Because I was at work and I was helping someone and I was typing something up, and all of a sudden it was like, oh, how do you type? And I know I was talking to the person, and I know my brain was engaged, and I'm in the children's section, but it was an adult I was talking to, and it was something about the Sunshine State books. And I was telling them we don't have any, and we're not going to have any for a while. And I know I was talking, but my brain went to the left, and next thing I knew, they were gone. They weren't in front of me, and I had come out of it, and I, I had to. I knew I had to leave because I thought I was going to have a grand mal seizure, and I was kind of like, look, I got to go.
It sounds like a focal unaware. I and Reese yours too, quite a bit. Like, cause that'll happen. And I didn't know that it happened.
I
Like
read
I don't even know, like
something.
a week ago or something. My husband told me just the other day, and I'm like, "Are you serious? Why didn't you tell me?" Because I don't remember. I mean, does anybody else remember if these things happen to you? If you have a
I
focal of any kind?
I had something happen. I guess it might be similar. I guess they said I came out of the seizure, but I don't remember any of it because finally what I remember is when I came out of it and I was like, did I have a seizure? And they were like, yeah, you asked that 4 times. So I'm wondering, is that like focal unaware? Because they said I was there, I was sitting at the table with everyone, and then I asked it again for the 4th time. But that's when I
Yeah.
felt like I just popped up at the table. Like I had just
Yeah,
came
that sounds
to.
like a focal unaware. I mean,
That's like a
from
cluster.
the inside, from my side of it. I don't know, like, from their side what it looked like, but from
Yeah, I
what's
believe it was
me.
after a grand mal. So after the grand
Exactly.
mal, they
That
said,
sometimes will happen. Yeah, after a grand mal, I'll ridiculously ask the same things over and over. Or I'll do things that I don't remember necessarily. So I'm not sure if it's necessarily that, or if it's part of the postictal after we have a TC. But I have had ones that were separate from a TC, where it was just like Reese was saying, you stare off in space, maybe you say something, they'll try to get your attention, and you don't remember it ever happened unless somebody tells you much later. I don't know.
yeah, that's like when I had the seizure. I was just like, did I have a seizure? They were like, yeah, you asked 3 times already. So like I was talking and I was there, but I wasn't there. That's basically what I was told. So
Right.
like I said, when I popped up, I was at the table. But my brain just landed. It was like, oh, where am I? Why am I at this table? That's when I came to.
So you think
So I guess that's what this person is talking about. Like, I guess they're having full conversation afterwards and just pop up and like, where am I?
They're either having focal unawares or they're having post-ictals where they're talking and doing things. I mean, we all know, like Pookie, you've gone into somebody's house in a post-ictal state. I've done all sorts of bizarre things too. So it's one or the other. Definitely, I would get that looked at.
Yeah, mine's like,
Oh, go
mine's
ahead.
lately, they've been the wandering off. And
Oh,
I
God.
think that's way more dangerous. Well, I'm not gonna say way more dangerous,
It's
but
pretty bad. It's
my
pretty
last few,
bad.
I just been wandering off. I just go places and
Pookie, no. You don't do that. No.
right. I went to a store and I talked to a guy and I was telling him the story, and he was like, "Oh yeah, you did that one time over here," and I was
Oh,
like, "What do you mean did
no.
that?" And he was like, "You came here and you walked around for like 20 minutes, and there's a store, then there's an island with like it was a smoke shop, so there's like all kinds of glass pipes and bongs and stuff." And he
Mhm.
said, "I'm just walking around it, circling one spot for 20 to 30 minutes." And then he said, when he asked me, what am I looking for? He said, I said, shut up and walked out.
Oh, no.
I don't remember any of that. That is, I lightly remember bits and pieces. I remember walking around. I don't remember
And
being
looking
there
at
for
things,
20
but
minutes.
not talking to anybody or saying anything.
Yeah, I don't remember
I'm
saying shut
so
up.
sorry. Oh,
I don't remember the walk there. And it's about a quarter mile.
Yeah. Oh, and there's traffic and people and oh, oh,
Right.
it's
It was right.
scary.
It's right next door to a fire department though. I mean,
Well, I
I
It's
did
guess
like
there's
have a comment.
it's so strange. Once you have epilepsy, you don't know what's a seizure and what's just a normal having a weird, you know, forgetting things moment, Like what I was dealing with earlier this week was I was just really tired. And so I went to go take a nap and I was just over it and exhausted and going to bed. And I was like, screw this, I'm going to bed. And then I couldn't remember anything. And I just had a strange feeling in the back of my mind. And I couldn't remember why I was so tired. And I was like, what is it that I've been so frustrated about? What is it that
That's
I,
usually a sign of a seizure. It's like you're overly tired.
right? And I was so confused and I was like, what is it that I've been going to the doctor for so much lately? I
oh,
can't
honey.
remember. And I couldn't remember the name of anything. And I was like, wait, what are the words for these things? And I was like struggling to remember everything. And I was like, wait, am I just having a memory problem? I remember I was
Sound like it.
struggling with my memory a lot lately, and I just was like having trouble naming things. And then I was like,
Yeah,
I've
but
been having trouble with memory lately, so is that the problem, or am I actually actively having a seizure? And it's just so hard to tell.
Mhm. Yeah, but when it's like you are having trouble naming things, that's like aphasia stuff. I mean, it might be just Nora, or it could just be something with your medication, I guess. I don't really know, but aphasia is usually something. Postictal, before,
Yeah,
during.
it's just so strange. Like it's so hard to tell if like that was a moment or just something. It's just
Sounds like it went on for a while though, because you were trying to go to bed and you were like, why am I doing that? And
yeah.
what's wrong with me and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds like if it's not an isolated event, it's definitely something to bring up to the team.
Mm-hmm,
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah.
Just journal as many details as possible that might
Yeah,
be
that's
able
what I
to
was
help
gonna say.
you
Write
figure
it
out.
down. Dang it, I hate it, but write it down.
It's
Yeah, it's so frustrating.
It's the worst.
Whatever helps. All the details come together for some stuff.
With the wandering off part,
Yeah.
like I'm not sure when I actually started having that seizure because I got up, I got dressed, showered, and all that. And I don't know why I got dressed, and I got dressed like I was leaving. And when I was done, I just went out and left. I don't remember leaving. I remember showering.
Mhm.
I remember getting up. Um, I remember walking around the island when I was at the smoke shop. Like, I don't remember what I was looking for. I remember walking around. I remember having my earpods in and just walking. But yeah, I don't remember the part telling him shut up and I apologized. And yeah, like I said, the wandering, like going into
Well,
someone's
now
house
he
like I
knows
did
at
before.
least. So if he sees you, he can be like, "Oh, hey, are you okay? Are you really
Oh
okay?"
yeah, I've told him before that I have seizures. And then recently I told him that that was a seizure and I didn't know. And he told me about the situation because I told him about a different situation where it happened.
Uh,
He was just sitting behind the counter, just watching me for 20 minutes walk around in a circle. Yeah, so
Well, at least
there was
he's a
that.
patient guy.
Yeah, it's hard because people don't know about different kinds of seizures. Most people only know about
Yeah.
grand mals. So when they see that kind of seizure, they would be like, what is going on?
Hmm.
Yeah, that's what someone was saying is that they don't really know it's a seizure. So in the movies, they do seizures like that. He was like, if they were doing a seizure where you just blank out into staring, you would have to put more context in it to show people in the movie and believe the crowd confused, which everyone is confused now when people are like, I'm having a seizure, but I'm not shaking, but I'm staring, and I'm not there. They don't have an understanding for that yet.
Yeah, you
There's
know.
way more seizures than people know and care to learn about. But
and
I
they
got another
continue.
question.
They continue to change. There's more to learn.
I got one that says, although I don't have serious epilepsy, I have been using anti-seizure medication for several months due to a grand mal seizure. My first at age 25. I have had allergic reactions to both Lamictal, trileptal being more recent and more severe. I noticed I was developing a rash on my face and a sore, hard lymph node in my neck, and I'm now going off of trileptal. And I was wondering if anyone else had a similar reaction to it. I never took trileptal, but
Me neither, but
What's
me
the
stop.
brand name for it?
um,
Let's see.
something that causes the rash is bad. Your
I
seizures,
had
man.
one like that caused a rash that was not. My husband was like, "Why do you have all these like?" They looked like blood spots, kind of, and I just was ignoring it. But yeah, we went off that, and they're gone now. So, but let me see if I can figure out what this is.
What I see is that Trileptal is the brand name for
That is the brand
oxcarbazepine.
name. Oh, it's
Yes,
oxcarbazepine. That's
Trileptal.
okay. That is
Oxcarbazepine.
that's
But
the
the
one
curious
good.
part
I
about
had.
this one too, is that they're both anti-epileptics. So if they've already had a allergic reaction to one antiepileptic, I'm really surprised they didn't try to go the benzo route or another class of medications to control their seizures, knowing that it sounds like from the same class of medication, you're probably going to be more likely to have those side effects, those reactions.
So they didn't
And they're
technically.
also prescribed for bipolar.
Right, yeah, they do. I just saw that. I was on a very large dose of oxcarbazepine, and that is the one that gave me the blood spots. I started it on my arms, and I didn't really notice that much. But when it went on my chest, my husband noticed, and yeah, and we went off that. But yep, I mean, I didn't get sores or a hard lymph node, thank heavens. But I didn't have a good reaction to it. I mean,
I
it
got
think
somebody
controls
I
in the
things a
remember.
little
comments.
bit, Hmm?
In the
I think I
comments, somebody
remember a
said,
story.
I also was allergic to Trileptal because I was also allergic to the other meds they started me on, a baby dose. So it only took me 1.5 days to see an improvement, but day 3 I was back to normal. So I didn't take me long, but I never had it just ends. I never had.
Hmm. Anybody else had oxcarbazepine?
No.
No, no,
No, never.
No. Oh.
no.
Some
Yay.
medication list only goes back.
But I think I
Yeah,
remember
I can't get
a time, I'm not sure, where my dad told my first neurologist, um, this is back when I was in a children's hospital, that I had a rash. And I wasn't sure if it was because of the meds or not.
Hmm. Yeah.
And I remember reading it,
I didn't take
and
it
back,
very seriously, but he was like, this rash could be life threatening. And yeah. So thank goodness for
yeah.
him.
And I think I was on Tegatrol then.
Patrol. Not sure which one that is either.
I got I got another
oh,
one. It says it's a question, but there's no question mark. So I'm gonna start. Because apparently I died. I had a seizure at work a few days ago. From what my boss told me, it was over 5 minutes, and obviously they were scared shitless. I work at a fast food restaurant. My boss said he gave me chest compressions. I'm not sure if he knew exactly how to because I came out of it without even a bruised rib. Anyways, I was about to get off working about 7.5 hours at that point. I have no recollection of the entire day, and I was only awake for like 1 minute in the ambulance and then in my bed at the hospital. But the memory could have just been screwed since it was in the first 30 minutes or so. Everything went as usual. It's not the first time I've been hospitalized for this. I come to work for the first time in 3 days today, and my coworkers who witnessed it are fucking said I fucking died for a minute and a half, but I'm pretty sure the hospital needs to inform you of this if it actually happens. I don't know if my coworkers were overreacting because apparently I turned purple, or they had just never seen something like that happen before. Should I be worried?
well, seeking
Um,
treatment sounds like they're definitely headed in the right direction of taking it seriously. But as far as worried, maybe just rest assured and keep thinking that, you don't know what caused it yet, but you're going to be careful until you do. As long as you have a plan in place, maybe it's easier to not worry.
Right, that's a time where you gotta let your coworkers know what's going on, 'cause stuff like that, coworkers don't know, and things like that just happen. That's how you die. They don't know what happens, and they're just watching you go through it. It absolutely sucks. I'll get to something else. Obstacle phases. I'm curious how everyone else behaves or what happens to them in obstacle phase of tonic-clonic seizures. Every time I've had one, apparently around people around me or not, I instinctively get up and try to walk to the bathroom. During the journey of my unconscious self, I'll run into walls, furniture, appliances, etc. It's like I'm physically conscious but mentally unconscious, unless I'm stopped by someone. But generally, if I'm with someone, they will usually just kind of try and guide me where I need to go. But almost every time I come in the bathroom, I try to keep my floors very clean and a decently easy and don't decently unobstructed way to the bathroom so that I don't accidentally hurt myself. I know this happens to everyone. How's yours? So I was reading that to you guys, and I read it exactly how it was wrote, and it was just all over the place. So it says there's a question. So, like I said, I do stuff like unpostical, and I don't know I did it. So I guess that's what that's like. It's just a wild guess. Anybody?
I'm always unconscious, but there are places that I like been to, and I'm like, I've been here before, but I never been here.
Deja vu.
Yeah, I was gonna say that deja vu. Heard of
Deja
that?
vu. Yeah.
Yeah,
Anybody
but it
ever get
didn't feel
vertigo?
like deja vu. It's more like memory. I've been here.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, my daughter
Anybody
just
ever get
explained to me
vertigo?
that, so that's why I don't want to. Get him pajamas and a diaper.
Sometimes I've had vertigo.
I've heard of
Um,
it, but I never had it. Um, so I got something here. It says, "Is weight loss a big deal, or do I keep bringing this up to my doctor?" I've tried 2 times to write this on a few websites, but it keeps getting marked as spam. Apologies for the mess. I've resorted to mobile. If anyone is missing, let me know. I'm angry and rewriting this again, but I'm desperate for any help. I also don't believe I'm asking for medical help. More opinions on where I go from here. I recently did a monitoring stay where they took me off of all my meds and had me hook up to an EEG machine. I was on the Cosamide 100 milligrams in the morning, 200 milligrams at night, and Excopri 100 milligrams at night. From the lack of meds and some sleep deprivation, I was able to get the diagnosis of mesial temporal sclerosis. That happened during the first week of January, and I weighed 203 pounds. My current meds are lacosamide, 100 milligrams in the morning, another 100 milligrams at night. Excopri, 250 milligrams. My weight has dropped to 186. I'm having near daily focal aware seizures, and I'm so tired. The act of eating makes me nauseous. Thinking about eating even makes me nauseous. I used to binge and love to make my gag. I love to binge, and now it makes me gag. I wrote to my epileptologist and told him all this, and he wrote back, "It's uncommon for these meds to cause lack of appetite, weight loss, he's going to increase Xcopri to 300. He also reminded me that frequent auras and focal seizures can affect my appetite. But that's it. I think my questions for this sub are, would you keep bringing it up, push for more help? Could this be my body adjusting to the med changes? My biggest question for everyone is because I know nearly everyone here has had to figure this out. When food is gross, how do you eat it? I'm barely getting 600 calories a day. That's forcing myself to eat because everything tastes disgusting. Yeah. I've lost my appetite a lot. Anybody else get that?
Yeah, all the time.
Lose my appetite all the time.
Yeah.
It depends on the meds.
I get it often.
Anybody take Xcopri?
I have,
Mm.
but I'm not. That's one of the ones that went under the failed list.
That's not what I take, but almost every epileptic I've talked to has had a weight loss and an appetite problem. So I guess that's something to relate to. I gained a ton of weight super fast. I don't think that was related to epilepsy. I think that was related to my thyroid condition. But I lost a ton of weight super, super fast also. So I gained weight super fast and then I lost it all super fast. I think that has to do with my gallstones, which is unrelated, but whatever, my whole body's messed up. So, yeah, I would just say join the club.
Does
I don't
anybody
know
take
what to
Vidpack?
say in terms of how to make yourself eat when you don't want to. I'm still trying to figure that out myself,
I
but
just don't eat.
yeah.
Straight
Yeah.
up, I just don't eat.
Either
Like, it'll
don't
come
eat
to
or
me.
force yourself to eat.
I do not
I'm
force feed myself at any point.
I'm trying to force myself so I can take my pills. That's
Yeah.
Yeah, I have
all I
to
got.
eat something, or the pills will immediately come back up, and then it's like, okay, well, did any of that get in, or
Drink
Mhm.
water.
and how do you get another bunch of doses of all the different crap?
If it
I'm
helps
living
at
on a water
all,
diet.
I heard a trick from an actor who was gaining weight, and he said it's easier to drink calories as opposed to eating calories.
It's yeah,
Yeah.
actually, my
Yeah,
little
Those
son
I
little
used
drink
to.
a lot of
shakes.
um those smoothies.
Mhm.
The
Yeah.
yeah.
the I was doing the protein shakes, the chocolate protein shakes from because my son was on football, and so he had a giant bag of it. So I was doing that instead of like, yeah,
Yeah.
eating.
I had the little protein shake thing, but it was like fruit and stuff. It came in a bottle.
Right.
I forgot what it is, but it came from Sprouts, I believe. It was pretty good. But other than that, sometimes I just live off of water.
It can happen,
And I
unfortunately.
feel full. Like, water's so cold, it's good. And I don't feel hungry, and then the water's just there, so I'm good. But I know I shouldn't. Some days I've lived off just water.
Well, you should not. You should at least eat something when you take your pills. I know it's really, really hard. I'm sorry.
Sometimes just crackers will help.
That's what I'm saying.
There we
Anything.
go. I've
Anything,
done that.
you
Eat
know.
crackers or maybe
Or dry toast.
chips.
A toast, a handful of whatever
Yeah.
dried cereal stuff you have in the pantry, whatever.
Oatmeal. Like oats.
Oatmeal helps sometimes. Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah, I have like the oatmeal with the little packets because I know like I can eat a packet and that's something that'll stick to me and be in my stomach. So I do that sometimes, and the peach cream is the best. Other than that,
You ever put peanut butter in your oatmeal?
my
Oh, I
dad
haven't
does
tried
that.
that.
Peanut butter and the oatmeal. My dad does that, but I can't get into it.
Peanut butter is
Pretty
the
good.
best. Peanut butter. I could put peanut butter in anything, and it's a winner. Love peanut butter.
I can do peanut butter and jelly. But peanut butter on other things, maybe like a cracker or something, but I can't do peanut butter as a substitute for butter. Anyhow, let's move on. My new normal. I had a doctor visit with my neurologist today, and as we went over my medical history, since being diagnosed with TLE, I froze once I realized that over the past 7 months, I've had 18 seizures, 2 grand mal seizures, and the rest being simple focal seizures. Should I worry about this? Should I worry? Is this going to be for the rest of my life now? Yes.
Epilepsy is.
Wouldn't say 17, but seizures, yeah. It's part of your life, unfortunately, now, once you get TLE. I mean, you can't not have epilepsy. Can you get rid of it? No, right?
Think
You
so.
can be
Controlled is the
seizure
closest you can get to
free.
cured.
Yeah, controlled.
No, you can go find the epilepsy fairy. You can go beat the shit out of her, and then put her in the trash can, and then you're cured.
Right.
If anyone knows where she lives, please tell me.
Yeah.
I do
Yeah.
not know.
Yeah, I found a report of one of them complaining about the rash back from 1998.
Yeah, so I looked it up, and what you said, trileptal is 1 or 2 letters away from oxcarbazepine, so it's clearly in the same drug family.
Yeah,
So
and
that's probably exactly what you had, and they really don't tell you how
carbazepine.
scary the rash is. Like, it can be deadly, and they don't make that clear when they put you on the med at all.
Does it itch?
Not
And I
on me.
know,
I guess it can on some people.
Oh.
I
So
know
never a chance of
carbazepine.
mistaking it for chicken pox or something.
It looks like when you have, if
Pegatro,
you've ever had
Carbatrol.
something where a bunch of blood spots under your skin, like you hit something
Okay.
really hard and you got a bunch of tiny blood spots from it. It looked like
Okay.
that, but it was spreading like
Wow. So it's like a spreading
everywhere.
injury looking type of thing.
Yeah, and I wasn't really
That sounds
paying
like
attention to it because I'm like, I'm minorly controlled, sort of.
Did it look like lupus?
I don't know. I had an aunt that had lupus, but she never showed it to me. So I'm not sure.
That's the only thing I can think about that looks like blood, and I guess
It looks like, when somebody like hits you with a plastic baseball bat or something and it breaks a bunch of blood vessels under your
okay.
skin, and then you get little tiny dots from it, but they're, dark red. That's what it looks like. At least on me.
Is anybody taking Vimpat?
I have. That was another one I've
I'm currently armed in that.
failed.
So the one where the guy was, or the person didn't say if it was a guy or not, when they were losing weight, Vimpat was one of the ones that they were taking.
Vimpat was one that I marked as failed because I was still getting dehydrated even though I was drinking like a gallon of water a day. Then I had a bad one. I think it must have happened on the job or something because the notes just say I ended up in the ER, and they told me I was dehydrated or that seizure was caused by dehydration, but that's impossible.
Right.
I was drinking a lot of water.
Yeah, I had a similar problem. What is it that I take? I take zonisamide, I think.
Yes.
And I get super there's a better word than wobbly, but I'm struggling for words, but
Isn't?
I have to drink a lot of water, or I get I struggle to walk.
Motor functions are messed up.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So I was drinking like um uh how much water is in my cup? I don't have it with me, but I was drinking a ton of water to keep from falling with the amount of zonisamide I was taking. And
I
it was
could go
ridiculous.
through 3 or 4 bottles of spring water all at once.
Yeah, it's the worst.
I think I got off of the zonisamide because of the pregnancy, but I'm seeing that it's also not a long term. I'm surprised how many of these medications are saying, they're basically not recommended for long term use because of kidney and liver
What do you
interactions.
expect us to do then if we get under control? I mean,
And that's another thing they don't tell you. By the way, we want to get your seizures under control, but you can't keep it that way or else you're going to have bigger problems later on down the line.
Hey, it's controlling you, but yeah, your liver's gonna mess up.
It's like they act like their only expertise is the brain, and medical care doesn't extend beyond their specialty. I'll never get it.
That's what's so frustrating is that all doctors act like they can only handle their specialty. And it's
Yeah.
like, come on. I need someone to be able to talk to me about something beyond their one little piece of the body, like,
Yeah, this is not a customer service with the drug company kind of thing.
yeah.
Give me an all-in-one package. Isn't that what my primary care provider is supposed to be? Like
Well,
a little bit of all-in-one, and she'll send me to a specialist if it's serious, like too serious.
I mean, I've got the neurology team, and then the thyroid doctor, and then the person for my gastroenterologist,
Yeah.
and then my hearing doctor, and then it just goes on and on and on and on. It's ridiculous.
but some of
Too
the
many
specialists
doctors.
don't even know what they're doing.
Yeah, exactly. It's ridiculous.
It's a full-time job when you start getting the comorbidities on top of the epilepsy, with how hard it is to keep track of things like appointments and stuff that's easy to forget to begin with. It definitely turns into a full-time job.
Is
Yeah,
anybody working?
especially.
Speaking of jobs, anybody working here?
Me,
Yep. I'm terrified that I'm not going to be able to after a while, based on what I hear from everyone else, but I do currently, so.
Congratulations. That's really, really impressive.
yeah,
Right.
I
no
do some.
Good for you.
Well, thank
I'm always
you.
impressed when you tell us that, Reese.
I
Absolutely.
only work part-time since my ridiculous surgery problem, but I still work, so.
And you can stand your coworkers and still accomplish your goals. That's all impressive. That's the only word that comes to mind.
You're,
Totally
The
impressive.
worst I
you're
can go out and work.
too kind.
So I got something that says termination. Even though my job claims they can't, even though my job claims they can't fire me because of my health, they're assisting me on what I need to get medical clearance. They're assisting me what I need to get medical clearance poorly. I feel like I'm being set up for failure to grant them an excuse other than my health to terminate me. Am I being paranoid or my perception of the situation? Or can this be factual? They can't fire you for having epilepsy, right?
I mean,
Yeah, but they can make it
No.
legally
hard.
no, but
They can make it hard.
I believe that they can try.
Well,
Well,
no,
They
not
can find
directly.
another way.
Yeah, not directly. They can't
No,
fire
there's
you.
other
It,
ways.
it, it may hinder your hiring chance. Um, but
They
they
can
can't.
find a different reason to fire you
If they want to
when
Yeah,
fire you, they're going to
They can
fire
don't
set
you.
you up for
like you
failure, is what I was
because
gonna
of your
say. They can be
epilepsy.
like, you know,
well,
they're not
wouldn't
firing you over your disability or your
your
whatever
performance.
Exactly.
condition. It's because of such and such a other thing.
Yeah, I think that was probably really easy for jobs that have, where you work like recorded conversation type things, and somebody's reading you their credit card number and you repeat it back, like, just switching up a couple digits or taking too
Ooh.
long to respond, or giving the wrong expiration date, reading it back. And I think that's why my job had a really easy time letting me go, and family said I was totally freaking out. 'Cause
Yeah.
I still did not want to accept that I had epilepsy.
Like I told
I
you
didn't
all
either.
that since my messed up surgery, they've been taking every single opportunity to act like my brain doesn't work anymore. And I cannot tell you how ridiculous this problem that my other coworker caused this week was. It was insane. He like sent out the wrong email, and we went through um this whole meeting going over the changes to this mail that wasn't even the right email because he sent us the wrong one. And then this woman who just joined the team is like apologizing for him and being like, "Oh, it's so difficult. There's so many emails going around. It's okay. Like, don't worry about it." Like, being nice to him because she doesn't want him to feel bad because he's in charge of her. But like, he messed it all up and made us do all this work that we can't use because he doesn't pay attention to what he's doing. And he does all that, and she acts like this. Meanwhile, if I make a tiny mistake, I get taken off the main work that we do because they don't think my brain works anymore. And this is how people with disabilities are treated. And I'm really sorry to the person who asked this question because I want to answer their question in a nicer fashion and tell them not to be concerned, but this is how people with disabilities are treated. That's just the truth.
Accountability is a big frustration, point of frustration when it comes to the workplace.
Well, I
Yeah.
just looked something up. I mean, you can contact the equal oppor hold on. The EEOC, the U.S. Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, and file a complaint if you think you're being discriminated against. And maybe they'll get someone to represent you. And within 180 days of uh, uh, of your termination, they'll handle it. Or that's what I looked up. That's maybe some kind of recourse.
Yeah, possibly.
This is actually why when I was searching, I got epilepsy when I was 10. I went out of my way to try to find a job that was either I was going to be my own boss or I was going to work for the government, because we know the government, it's really hard to get fired from a government job. And that's why I work for a library. Um, it's like literally there was a guy looking at porn, and he works at the library, and that's what he was doing for months and months, and sexually harassing like the female employees. He didn't get fired for years and years and years, and we tried to get him fired. So it's really hard to get fired there. And my coworkers are great. They have like been standing behind me. They know I have seizures. God, at one point I was having like one every week. They're kind of like, oh, you don't feel well? Well, go sit in the back. I'll take over your shift at the front desk. And we're really busy. We have like between 50 and 150 kids after school that come running around. They don't have their parents with them. So with some of it, you just have to try to find the good places. And then,
Yeah, I mean that's what's so difficult is I've told everyone like my coworkers and my work in general are so kind to me. They're so much better than most places would be, but there's still a stigma that people aren't aware of. There's still something in the back of their minds that they're uncomfortable with someone who's had a brain surgery. They're a little bit afraid of someone who has seizures, you know?
yeah, they think we're stupid or crazy or violent or
They just
something
can't
along those lines.
admit that anything unknown is intimidating.
Mm-hmm.
You're deaf far from being able to predict the future with any epileptic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What I don't understand is the people who say that, oh, a seizure, it wasn't nothing. You just had a seizure. But then you say you're traumatized.
Yeah.
I just had a seizure. It wasn't that serious, but you're traumatized. I mean, I
Or
can
you,
understand traumatized because I've traumatized some people, but to say it was nothing and then say it still traumatized you, it's not just nothing.
or like you don't even want to talk about it. You don't want to even tell
Touch it.
somebody it
Pretend it didn't happen.
happened. And they're like, what? Did
Right?
something
Just a
happen?
seizure.
They never want to talk to you afterwards.
You know what? This
Yeah,
this place is
experiencing one on my
such
own with the
a relief.
clusters, it's like, no, I don't want to put people through that.
No, you never want to
Right.
do it on purpose.
I
Heavens.
know, and the grand mals is the ones that I usually like. I usually like. That's all I ever knew about. And then I have a cluster, and I was like, What's going on? What the hell is going on? I
Mhm.
can't control anything, and like I'm traumatized myself.
My
Right.
favorite is when you see somebody from, back in like the early days when you were first diagnosed, they've seen you have a bad one, but get up and move away, see them like a decade later. This happened after, family and everything, and this girl literally looked like she saw a ghost. My mother had to like reintroduce us and said, yeah, you guys were best friends for 10 years. They came down from Jersey with us, and she like retold our life story real quick, and I just said, all right, nice to meet you, and like went and chased my little one when he ran by, because that's where we met, was at this little like toddler play place in town. But yeah, this girl literally like jaw dropped, you are not Caitlin, like. So people just really do assume the worst, I think, when they see something that violent, just that's scary. It's like seizures or
I'd
clusters
say
or
something they don't
whatever.
understand, basically.
Yeah.
But I've had someone that, like you said, haven't seen them in so long. There was I was going to say there was a kid because we were in high school, but he's an adult now. There's a guy who said he seen me have my first seizure. Well, it was actually my second seizure of my life. Um, uh, yeah, he said he seen that, and he was like, "The last time I seen you, you were tangled up under the desk having a seizure." And he was like, "I was crying watching you, and I didn't know what was going on." And I told him, "I am so sorry because I did not know that story." And when I came to, I woke up in an ambulance, and they told me I had a seizure, and I was on the way to the hospital. I don't know what everybody's seen in class, just I didn't come back to.
Yeah.
there's no one I've actually seen from the past that hasn't seen one yet. I think everybody I went to school with, they pretty much seen one, some way, somehow. Either
Yeah,
the
you can
bus.
expect it to. That's the thing about other people, though. I mean, you can expect it to leave an impression, but that's when somebody will really show their true colors, is how they handle it. Once
In high
seeing
school,
the
I felt
worst
like
that can
everybody.
happen.
In high school, I would feel like everybody was looking because I feel like one student told another one of their friends, and then someone else told someone else. Because sometimes I walk past certain people, and I'd be like, "I had a class with you," and then the whole crowd's looking, and I was thinking, "Oh, he probably like, oh, that's the guy who had a seizure." And I was just in high school. I hated it until I just was like, "I got to get over this. It's gonna be here for the rest of my life." But yeah, does anybody have problems with drinking things? Because I know we can't drink grapefruit juice.
Or chamomile.
Or chamomile.
Yeah, we talked about this earlier in
I
the
know
week. We can't
Anne
have
does it
chamomile.
anyway, right? But I'm not going to.
Hey, that chamomile part was important because that was like my favorite nighttime tea. But now I'm
I
trying this
didn't
green, you know,
know.
the Arizona, the off the shelf stuff,
Why
and
did they
we'll
not
see
tell
if the
us?
green tea sits well.
I didn't know either.
Seriously.
I was drinking chamomile tea and stuff, and I don't even remember how it came up, how I learned it. But I learned not from my doctor, not from the pharmacist. It was my
Here.
daughter or
A lot
me,
of this herbal
whatever.
stuff they talk about that might be good for you is complete bullshit. Not just for us, but for everyone. It's not.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Well,
just.
But it's just so easy to want to try it because you feel like it's such a dead end with the real pharmaceuticals that, you know, who knows, maybe Eastern medicine has some logic to it, but we'll just never know unless we try it. And like from the real people, not the ones marketing it on QVC or some like, you know,
well, the problem
commercial.
with chamomile is that they put it as the first ingredient for every flavor of celestial seasonings. I mean, not everyone, but like 80% of them. And so you go to have a peach tea, but it's not, or a berry tea or a whatever, and you're getting all this other stuff, and you don't know that it's not good for you.
It's a lot of other stuff because I mean ginger is fantastically healthy, but it's not necessarily ginger that you're getting. It's processed ginger and it's been put through the grinder and it's all these additives and this stuff that is not good for the human body. So yeah.
Yep.
I asked about the juice part because I got something that says my girlfriend drinks lemon juice and tons of it. She puts it on chips and drenches it in it so much that there's a puddle left over in a bowl after she's done, and then she drinks it. I tell her she isn't supposed to do that, but she thinks it's okay and doesn't affect her seizures. She has epilepsy and tons of other health issues. Can someone shed some light on if she should fight over this or stop drinking the juice and listen to me? She's had her third seizure today within the last 20 minutes. This was
That's a
posted
lot.
16 hours ago. So,
Oh, that is a
yeah.
lot. Anybody?
I had never had a juice addiction. I mean a juice basically what's it called? A reaction from any type of juices. And I never was a
I've
grapefruit fan, so
never eaten that much juice before.
Me either. Yeah, I
I've
mean,
never put
because
juice on chips.
the only reason I would be concerned is that it's so much of it, and it obviously is related to grapefruits in some way because they're all
It is.
citruses, right?
It's
But
hot. Yeah.
I'm not quite sure. I guess I could look it up to see
I
if
mean,
it.
could we throw the idea out there that it could be affecting the medication possibly?
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
3 and 20 minutes. I'm like, that's a lot, and I don't. I wouldn't continue to do something if I was having that many in that amount of time.
I
Because
would just say consult your doctor on that because I don't know.
I'd say like if that's the only thing she's done different that caused that,
Okay.
then yeah, you got to be like, okay, she didn't drink all this the other day and she didn't have a seizure, but now she's putting a cup of juice on some chips and she's having a seizure. That kind of correlates to that, I guess. But
Yeah.
I don't know the situation. There wasn't much context after that. But
it's generally safe. But if you are taking epilepsy medication, you should be cautious because of enzyme inhibition. It, like other citrus fruits, can interfere with enzymes in your liver and intestines that are responsible for breaking down and processing your medications. This leads to altered medication levels in your body, potentially increasing your risk of side effects, and reducing the medication's effectiveness. Also, you can get absorption issues because of the acidity of the lemon juice. It potentially affects the absorption of certain drugs in your digestive tract. Specifically for epilepsy medications, potential interactions may come from any citrus fruit, including, as we said, increased side effects, reduced effectiveness, and then the grapefruit warning comes after that. So it's the worst of them, but you should also be cautious with lemons and other citruses.
I
Definitely
don't know why
consult.
I asked. It just ruined lemons for me. Lemon juice was amazing until
What about orange juice? I love orange juice.
I love lemonade.
Well,
This sucks.
Yeah,
well, you
I
know
love
what?
lemonade, but not that much.
Yeah.
Lemonade is completely different though than having like straight lemon juice on chips and drinking the leftover out of the bowl.
I was gonna
That's what
say
they're
that.
saying. Like they're
Yeah,
not saying lemonade or things like
lemon
that.
juice.
It's straight lemon juice and a whole bunch of it. And then the thing with interactions with grapefruit juice, but there's no mention of orange juice or lemonade at all. No, nothing like that at all. It's just how much and how um concentrated it is. That's all. So he can at least tell her there's a potential. Talk to your doctor.
Yeah.
And don't worry about the lemonade. I think as long as you're not overdoing it, it should be just fine, dear.